So we got the part 3 unit, Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and you are one of two people. You're completely enjoying it and you're happy and content with the fact that it was them, or you're on the opposite end and you wanted it to be someone else. The question I've got for everybody here, whether you like the unit or not, do you think it was the best choice to end out this celebration? Usually I'd give my answer at the end, but my opinion, yes, I think it was the best choice, but I'm not gonna say objectively. You can still have your opinion, but I do think it's worth it to have the discussion of why in some people's eyes it's definitely the best choice and in other people's eyes it should have been something else. For the core of this conversation, there are many other things that people wanted, but the biggest one, or the most popular one that people did want to release, would easily be Ultra MUI Goku. So we're going to be using him to spearhead the argument against Ultra Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, because there are a lot of valid points that I see both ways. Ultimately, what's done is done, and you're going to have to move on and cope with the idea that this is the Ultra for the finale of the 8th anniversary. But it's always fun to do a what if, and when I say the points for the opposite side of whatever side you're on, at the end of this video, maybe you'll have regrets, maybe you'll be more open-minded. We'll see though, and let me know in the comment section what you think about this situation all in all, as I do be checking the comments. Let's get into this. So I think it would be much better to start with the against. So if you wanted something else, you're gonna have to be Team MUI for this video, whether it was Gogeta you wanted, a Vegito, etc, etc. So the first point I wanted to bring out for why MUI Goku could have been a better reveal is based on what we actually got with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I think the biggest thing about this unit is that they made it extremely cinematic. On top of their models being super good, there is a lot going on. So Goku is obviously the mainline unit, but we also have Vegeta, who makes it a tag unit, though he makes a lot less appearances on the unit all throughout. For example, at the start of the battle, you get both of them, equal playing time, though we start with Goku, so you could argue he has more. Then you go into the first stage, Vegeta has the main playing time, but you still see Goku in the back at all times, prepping the Spirit Bomb. In the stage 2, it's still also Vegeta, but note, once this ends, the Spirit Bomb goes off and then it goes straight into Goku. Vegeta is out of commission, and for the rest of the battle you can only use Goku. Also in the other scenario, Vegeta dies during the first or second stage of the prep time, then you only have Goku. The revival will activate. Regardless, it's a tag unit. But if that wasn't enough already, we also have Hercule in the animation. He has his little cameos here, there, he's in the ink art as well, and carries Vegeta out when the Spirit Bomb actually activates. We just haven't seen something like this. The closest thing you can get to this is having a tag unit, one of the prep time mode ones, so the Buu duo and the Gammas 1 and 2, both of those guys are Legends Limited. You would have 2 characters, but with the addition of supporters you can get 3. But in this case, we already have 3 characters just on the one unit, and you can get a 4th with the supporters. The point being that if they are capable of doing this for the Buu duo, we could easily get something like this for another character. In this argument, I'm talking about MUI Goku. So now let me paint the picture for you. We get MUI Goku as the starting Ultra. You use this guy, and just like in the Tournament of Power, he's fighting against Jiren. Now it's something we haven't seen in a long time, but they could use this as an opportunity to bring back the timed transformations. At the start of the battle, you're in MUI, and let's say you only get about 45 timer counts to use the mastered form of Ultra Instinct Goku. With this, they could activate a prep time gauge, but just in a different fashion. So after Goku goes down, we now get Frieza and MVP 17 as a tag unit. MUI Goku the Ultra turns into a tag unit with these 2 units, and you need to continuously tag switch and get Goku involved. And after enough tag switching, or a set amount of time, you can activate a finisher just like in the Tournament of Power. If you want to adapt the idea, it could also just be Frieza and Goku, and MVP 17 is playing the Hercule position. Regardless, instead of a Spirit Bomb, it would be Goku and Frieza knocking whoever you're fighting. In the Tournament of Power, it was obviously Jiren, off the map, and post the active gauge going out, you can only play as MVP 17. Now regarding scale, I really think it's non-negotiable that that unit that I just described that I made up for this video would blow Buu Bros out of the water, and it's not even close. As much as the Buu Bros look great and they are obviously coming from a hype moment in the series, we all know in terms of scale, Mastered Ultra Instinct is the best thing to come out of the series. In terms of hype and what it done for Dragon Ball, especially in this modern day, realistically, we're all aware it's not close. The fact that even just a singular MUI is in the conversation celebration with Boo Duo as a whole says a lot, but they could have done a lot more mechanically, visually, if they do go ahead and drop a MUI Goku. And because we've seen what they did with the Boo Duo, there is potential for that scale to be implemented into MUI Goku. But that's just one factor as to why somebody would now want even more an MUI Goku instead of us getting the Boo Duo, but maybe in the future we will see that. Another big reason why people definitely feel like it should have been MUI Goku instead of the Boo Duo is because of the timeline for the Dragon Ball franchise. If you don't know what I'm talking about, later this year we are going to be getting Dragon Ball Super Beerus, and then later on in 2027 we will be getting the Dragon Ball Super Moro arc, the Galactic Patrol arc, which is the next arc in Dragon Ball Super. If you read the manga you'd know that, but if you're anime only, after the Broly movie there is the Moro arc that goes on, or the Tournament of Power, however you want to see it. It's both though. When this arc gets animated, inevitably we will be getting new units in Dragon Ball Legends in the same fashion for the Broly movie and Dragon Ball Daima. The minute the Broly movie released, the game and every single Dragon Ball game in general actually is going to be getting content regarding the newest thing out in Dragon Ball. During those time periods, it's only natural we're going to get only that stuff in the game. And it just so happens that in the Moro arc, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku is a continuous thing that pops up. We've seen him use it in the Tournament of Power for the first time ever, but he goes on to train and pretty much becomes more versatile with the form. With that being the case, them not dropping it now means that if they do drop it at a later time, and it's unlikely to be this festival based on the Beerus series coming out, and if they try drop it in 2027, they will try drop it in a celebration. So it will be the next anniversary, the upcoming festival right now, or the festival next year. And during that time period, everybody would be more ecstatic, more hype for the Moro arc aspect. And then if they push us back into the Tournament of Power and we get an MUI Goku from the TOP, it would be quite a disappointment for the fan base, which is why people are wanting it earlier than later. Only naturally. If you've seen the Galactic Patrol arc, you know some of the hype stuff Goku was doing and the situation that was going on. Only naturally would we be done with the 90s, we'd be done with the TOP arc, and we wouldn't want it in game, we want the newest thing. Most people are going to be like that. The same way with Daima, when they took a bit of time to drop the Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 3 Gokus and Vegetas, people kept saying, when are we going to get it? Why don't we have it in game right now? And even to this day, people are still expecting the mini version of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which we haven't got. We don't even have Goma. So you see these aspects where when there's something new, people start looking for that character naturally, and they start forgetting about other things that they could get. And when the developers drop those things instead of the newest thing, it's kind of like, what are they doing? The feelings towards that thing will be lesser, and the guys that wanted MUI right now don't want people to go through that, inclusive of themselves. Those are the main 2 points for against. There are a couple other micro points, but I think those ones really paint the picture for why it was important for MUI Goku to have dropped now. But we got the Boo Duo and we have to live with it. So let's talk about why these guys made the most sense for this celebration. The first point being, the theme of this celebration was unpredictable. The whole way through, they were hitting us with unpredictable aspects. Part 1, fair enough, you can say it wasn't unpredictable, but that's based on them trying to promote their own celebration, their own anniversary. They're trying to get players in, so they had to tell us we're going to get the performance for Blizzard. Naturally. Before that, people were expecting Broly and they were expecting Gogeta in the largest amount, and I won't dispute that 100%, but almost nobody was expecting a Ultra Gogeta Blue 2.0. Most people were expecting the Super Saiyan version, or for him to transform the same way Broly does. So they hit us with the unpredictable aspect there. In the part 2, pretty much everybody was bamboozled when it wasn't Orange Piccolo. Shalette was in conversation and people saying Zaha based on the story, so I'm not going to dispute anybody who predicted that because I think that had a lot of high numbers. But the guys that were so arrogant about their pick, saying that if you don't think it's Orange Piccolo, you're an idiot, were completely bamboozled and had gone silent when it wasn't them. Trunks and Gohan, an absolute mystery pick. Nobody was looking at those colors and thinking, yeah, it's going to be a future unit Gohan and Trunks. Come on, man. There was a very few amount of people. In general, the sentiment is it was unpredictable. And then in part 3, if they went ahead and dropped MUI, it's what people are expecting the most. He definitely had the highest amount of picks, but once they started rolling out the promotion, it was like, yeah, okay, it's no longer going to be MUI Goku, and people started shifting their thoughts. But even then, people were saying as a possibility, yeah, there's a Spirit Bomb in the Tournament of Power. Did we forget? Naturally. But then if it was MUI Goku, him also having the masses in prediction, it 100% wouldn't be unpredictable. But I feel like this way, they really hit the mark on the unpredictability up until they dropped the event pretty much. Before that, there were people predicting Spirit Bomb Goku, but not Vegeta in addition. So I think the way they finalized this celebration and chose the moment and produced it in such a way, executed it brilliantly, stamped this celebration as generally unpredictable. Their execution was just top notch, and we gotta give it to them. And because of that, they deserved it. And and it was right and just for this celebration to end this way. Another reason, and I think this is a huge reason why it definitely should not have been MUI Goku, and it's a great thing that it was the Buu duo. The 7th anniversary left a disgusting taste in a lot of people's mouths. If they dropped another MUI Goku this celebration, a lot of people would be upset. A lot. Not gonna lie, it would have been bad. In the 7th anniversary, we know that they started the celebration with MUI Goku, and unfortunately, it leaked. They literally tweeted out a trailer with SSBE Vegeta and MUI Goku, and we knew it was going to drop a couple days before, literally ruining all the anticipation. Granted, this Buu duo also leaked, but only an hour before, so most people didn't even know that it leaked. The average player didn't know. Though the guys that do watch the reveal and were there early, if you were in my stream, we were there 2 hours early. We knew pretty much as soon as the history movie dropped, but it was obviously less likely that the Buu duo were going to leak, but the truth is they leaked. Point being, it would have been a lot worse if MUI Goku dropped. On top of that, if he also leaked, and let's be real here, they've leaked every single Ultra Instinct Goku in Dragon Ball Legends. It's very likely that the MUI Ultra is definitely going to leak, but hey, we'd have to see when it does happen. Point being, if that leaked and that was releasing, it's already bad because we just had MUI last year. It's already bad again because it leaked, just like the Buu duo, but even worse, every other Ultra Instinct unit in Dragon Ball Legends history having a track record of leaking. And finally, it recreates the PvP conditions that we also had last year, Passive Ball Legends. But there's a multiplier effect. So let me just talk about Passive Ball Legends first. If you are a new player, you wouldn't know how annoying it is when a new Ultra Instinct Goku drops. One, it's the hypest thing ever. We know this. Naturally, people are gonna use it. No matter if it's good or bad, people like using the Ultra Instinct mechanic in-game. It's fun, it's fluid, it looks good, Goku's doing crazy animations, and typically they are gonna be OP, the best unit in the game. So people are gonna use the unit. But the mechanic gives you a lot of freedom and recovery from mistakes, meaning that you can just sit at the back of the battlefield and not do anything. Just watch your opponent, they'll watch you, you're having a stare off, you're just standing still and dodging every attack that comes your way, playing for counter attacks. If you already dislike people that PV fish go for perfect vanishes, Ultra Instinct Goku makes that 100 times worse. And in some cases, we've had multiple UI Gokus meta at the same time. That's what was happening in the 7th anniversary, and there was only one relevant, and that's happened every single time there was a new Ultra Instinct Goku. So that would have been brought into the 8th anniversary, where it would have been made 2 to even 3 times, 10 times, 100 times worse, because Legend Broly, the multiplier, already exists. I made a whole video complaining about him, and it's not that Broly is a bad pick or a bad choice at all. I love Broly, I don't like using him, and that's because he promotes passive play. He doesn't even have Ultra Instinct, but because it's optimal to just float on the battlefield and play for his transformations, where if the enemy hits you, you will get the benefit out of that. It pushes PvP into a passive playing field, and that is the most boring type of gameplay you can have in Dragon Ball Legends, because nobody's actually fighting. People be pairing those two together, and God forbid they make the new Ultra MUI Goku a complementary element to Broly. So hypothetically speaking, if Ultra MUI Goku is either red or yellow, he is the perfect partner for Broly. If he's yellow, he counters purples, which would be dangerous for Broly. But if he's red, he gets protected by Broly because he would have Broly there to protect him from blues. And that would be the end of times, because they'll be the best duo together. And that's not considering any other extra mechanics that would come in the kit. Broly already having survivability and buff cancellation, and you know they're just gonna run that for Ultra MUI Goku to guarantee the sales and him being the best in the game. It's just a lose-lose. Besides from hype, the conditions won't be good, and we don't want a repeat of the 7th anniversary. And definitely, by comparison, showing that the 8th anniversary is really great part 1 and 2, stale celebration. I already gave my opinion at the start of the video, and I'm very happy that Buu Bros released. This is going to be the end of the video, but let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Buu Bros looking as spectacular as they did, you really can't complain. But I will say, this is not really a negative or a 4. Did anybody notice how they didn't really go overboard with the reveal? Like, there was no theatric, literally no drone show, no orchestra, no performance, no drifting cars, just a history movie. And I guess we are moving on from Legends Limited, so they kind of wanted to showcase what they've done in Dragon Ball Legends. But let's be real, the devs themselves have a higher standard for certain characters, those being the fusions, Gogeta, Vegito, and on top of that, Ultra Instinct Goku. They clearly raised the bar for those characters because they understand what they do to the fan base. But I still think it's excellent that they were able to generate this much hype with the Boo duo just based on how good they look, their execution, and the idea in how they operate in PvP. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.